so partial to just, here come the buffs. That's like, I also love it when she's like, Joker, anything. Like, Joker, these guys are really powerful. Like, bah! I just, it's so good. Yeah.
Anytime, mostly because I like trolling people on Twitter. Let's not do that today.
Oh my.
You look tired. Maybe you should go to sleep.
That makes me angry. I love Ryuji going, for real? No? Like Scooby-Doo, it's so good.
And I just love when the protagonist goes, with Xander. I freaking love Xander. Xander Mobus.
Xander Mobus.
Actor for that. Like when we were doing the Persona 5 panel, we did a huge Persona 5 panel at Anime Expo. There were like 3,000 people in there. And just hearing Xander go, and like 3,000 people freaking out. It was the greatest thing ever.
The energy in that crowd was
it was
insane.
ridiculous.
It was
It's like a month. Oh, you were there?
Wasn't it? It was crazy. We wish we could have stayed longer, but Atlas had a very specific one.
I know! We were so loud! It's only been 40 minutes!
No, it was like 33 minutes, Cassandra. It was like, I just wanted to stay and like answer people's questions, and you guys were throwing like plushies up at us. I remember getting off stage and Max was like, I feel like we were on The Walking Dead, and we just walked out on like a Comic-Con panel.
Yeah! No, it was that was like the level of excitement.
That was when I realized how massive the Persona fandom is.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, it was seriously nuts.
It was crazy. I tried to get them to do another panel this year. I don't think they're listening to me though.
They should.
I know! We should lobby for it.
Seriously.
I know, I'll ask again.
It was so weird though, because after that panel, like, people would come up to me and be like, Futaba? And I'd be like, ah! Yeah! Because I was just wandering around the dealer's hall, like, trying to get my plushies and my figurines.
Did
like,
you get the big Morgana plush?
No, I didn't.
Did you get one? Yes! They had like this, they had like a big, like, exclusive one. It's so cute.
I do have the Futaba figurine pre-ordered though, so.
Because of course you do.
I think it just dropped. My friend in Canada has it. It's like a drug deal. More questions. So many, there are two hands with like light colored sleeves.
Yeah, so let's go like the one in back, then the one forward.
Silver wig and then black hair. There we go.
Oh, it's just me then. Right you.
Hello, sweet angel.
Hello, sweet angel, to you as well. We're not just limited to Persona questions here, are we?
No.
Oh, sweet. So I want to ask you both. How does it feel, as myself obviously, how does it feel working on the Fire Emblem series at all for you guys?
Fire Emblem?
What have you done in Fire Emblem?
I am Julia.
In Heroes or in?
Yeah, Cassandra's in Heroes.
I'm Julia.
In Echoes, yeah.
What?
I think you're in Echoes as well.
You're also Clarice.
There you go.
I am also.
Cassandra works a lot, you guys.
Yeah, she does.
You can't knock her for not knowing
it's understandable.
Yeah.
Clarice is like a very tsundere archer character. That's basically.
I like the tsunderes.
Yeah. Gotta love the majestic hair swarms of Erica Lindbeck.
What?
Just pointing out how majestic Erica's hair looks.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, it is very majestic.
Almost getting tired.
Oh wait, so how was your time working on Fire Emblem?
It was good. I mean, it was that cup of tea.
Yeah,
so
they're great.
Yeah, and that studio. Oh my gosh.
It's like a house. It's like a house converted into. Oh, it's not actually, but they built it that way.
But they have like a living room and a kitchen and
so
like
sweet.
an office and then 2 studios in the back.
Yeah.
And the women that own it are so cool and so chill.
Awesome.
And they always bring their dogs to work.
Yeah.
One of them is like a huge like pit bull mix named Bull, and the other one is a tiny like a Frenchie named Ziggy. And he just like he goes like like all day.
Doing Fire Emblem Echoes was crazy. I voiced Celica in the Fire Emblem series.
Yeah.
And also Myr in Fire Emblem Heroes, which is she's a dragon. For the dragon noises, I got to go rah rah. Because we were trying to figure out, she turns into a dragon. She is this little girl that turns into a literal dragon. And we were like, how are we gonna do the dragon noise? And I was like, we could just be like rah rah rah. Because like, how else are you gonna do it?
Which it's basically what Hunter Mackenzie Austin did for Noe anyway, so it kind of
yeah, totally. But my bigger role is Celica in Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valencia. That was crazy because I didn't know what I was auditioning for when I auditioned, and then they were like, "Hi, you're the female lead in the first fully voiced Fire Emblem game." And I was like, "Ah!"
That's a big deal.
I never get sick of going, "May Mila protect you."
Yes.
And I love it, and I loved you guys. I don't know, those of you who play Heroes, Fallen Celica was so much fun to do. That line, "Perish," or whatever she says. She becomes like, she's like this pious princess who never has a bad word to say about anybody, so getting to do her as like as this kind of evil, like mean lady girl is really fun. She's more like me. Fallen Celica is more like Erica, so yeah, I love her.
And being in Warriors must have been awesome for you as well.
Oh my god, I know. I was in like 3 games. They were like, "Okay, we just finished Echoes. Okay, you're in Warriors now. Okay, now you're in Heroes 5 times." And then she won that poll, and so now she gets another outfit. She's just gonna be Celica all day, every day. I hope she gets a really cool figurine. I'm like waiting.
That'll be awesome.
I know she's got her amiibo, but I want her to have a figurine.
Big buzz, please.
She's best girl. She's best girl. She's awesome.
She is amazing. Her and May.
Next
Cool.
question.
Oh wait, so we have we have a line. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Tell us,
Quinn.
Spirit.
Quinn?
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, I have to ask, what's your favorite moment in Persona 5? Like, if there's like a funny moment or a somber moment that you just, like your favorite part, what would it be?
Mine is at the very end. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't finished it yet.
Thank you.
I mean, okay, so maybe plug your ears. I'll be a little bit vague. So you know the part of Morgana's journey is that he doesn't know like if he was like a man or a woman, and he like struggles with it, and he's like won't admit that he's a cat, and I just feel like he's very like conflicted. Like, I mean, yeah,
he's super. He asks me late at night, like,
yeah.
"What do you think I am?" And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right. And I mean, like, yeah, he's the mascot and he's funny and he has good lines and he like teases the player all the time. But like underneath all that, he's like, he's really going through something. And there's just like a moment at the end where he kind of like comes to terms with like what he really is. And I just thought it was like really sweet, and I was glad that they like ended his story like that for him. Like they gave him a conclusion. Yeah, so that. But, on the funny side, anytime he's, like, geeking out over Lady On, it was so fun. Yeah, it was so fun to do that. And then just imagining Erica Herlicker while I was doing that. She's the voice actress for On. Yeah.
Weirdly enough, when I first started playing Persona 5, okay, this is weird. But okay, not to record, but the moment that hit me emotionally the most, and this is really gonna weird you out, but I'd never played a Persona game before. I had been playing Overwatch like all day, every day, and I got sick of it, and I was like, I need to play something else. And all of my other games, because back home I'd had an Xbox, so all of my other games were Xbox. Atlas had gifted me a copy of Persona 5, and I was like, I might as well. I might as well try it out. So I did, and then the first couple times I went to the Velvet Room, the theme, like, killed me. I don't know why, but like, it was like the 3rd time or something. It was Igor was talking, and he was telling me something, and it was pretty profound though, and I can't remember what it was. It was just about like my protagonist's journey, and the Velvet Room theme was playing, and I just started crying because I'm weird. But yeah, I don't know. I bought the whole soundtrack. I have the whole soundtrack on my.
The music is so good.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
It's amazing, but yeah, that hit me. But to record, it was obviously Futaba's like journey and her palace and all that, of course.
In the front. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I'm Nami in League of Legends. Yeah. So I worked on League before it became the huge, like, massive cult game that it is today. So I didn't really know, like, what it was going to turn into. It's been, like, a couple of years now. But it was awesome. The team at Riot, they really care a lot about their characters and how they're portrayed. Like, we spent a lot of time working on the voice. Nami doesn't have that many lines, but the session was like pretty long for what it was. I think they booked me for like 4 hours. And then they showed me like a little animatic that's like a pre-animation of like what she looked like, so that was cool. So I got to see like the pencil drawing of Nami like swishing her tail, which was pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know, it's just cool to work with like really passionate, you know, game developers and producers that really like care about the final product. And it's cool to like bring a character to life, so yeah.
I voiced characters later in the game. I think I voiced my first character in 2016. I voiced Talia and Zoe in League of Legends, and Zoe came out like, I think 5 or 6 months ago, yeah, recently, and Talia came out, I think, the year before. But it was really, it was awesome. You know what I love about them is, I knew by the time I got to auditioning for Zoe that they would let me kind of do what I want. They love your input, which a lot of times is not the case. Like a lot of times they're like, I have a specific vision for this character, and you need to do what I think you need to do. Whereas with Riot, like when they're casting, they want you to make it your own, and I did that a lot. I don't know, are there any League players in here? Has anyone played Zoe or no Zoe? Yeah.
Definitely Moon
But they like, I in the audition, I knew that going into her audition, and I just kind of made it my own and like sang some of the lines, and that ended up being like a part of her character. Like Orion, the writer, wrote that into her character because I did it in the audition, and he was like, I loved it. I thought it was great. Talia was an in-person audition. I had no idea what I was doing. I just started doing voiceover, and I was just like, okay, yay, I'm here. Okay, bye. I remember like running away, like running out of the audition room, and I was like, I can't do. Oh God, I'm so bad. But weirdly enough, like our sessions was like 2 full 4 hour sessions. But I think they have 4 lines now.
Yeah.
And they usually do a skin as well. So yeah, like with Talia, I did Frail, Yord, Talia, and then obviously General Talia, and then I did like Hacker Zoe. I don't know what her official name was.
Hacker Zoe.
Something Zoe, and then regular Zoe.
Yes.
So given how protected that has been with nature for some live I was kind of curious as to what it was like for like you guys working on this. Like how much of a plot did you get to know? Did you just learn everything from the outset as you went along?
I mean, we could ask as many questions.
We needed to know what we needed to know to the extent that it affected our characters.
Yeah, so like did I know the entire storyline of the game? No. But did I know what was going on with Morgana? Yes.
Yeah.
Like did I know at the first session that he turned into a bus? No.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, it's like, well, we kind of take it scene by scene because like for me, I would rather know like what specifically is going on in the scene and what's going on around me, like as an actor. That's more important to me and my performance and like my process, rather than knowing like the overarching thing that's happening. Yeah. So like all the questions that I asked were like, what is happening in this scene? Like, do I need to know anything else? No. Yeah. So
there was more information also available about you guys. You guys' characters had been announced. Like all I had was a bust sprite of Futaba's face. And I was like, and also,
what do I do with this?
I thought I had a much smaller part than I did. I was like, okay, well I'm not one of the main 4, so like, I guess I'm just like a side character. Like one of the, just like one of the, I thought I was like like one of the girls at school or something, and then they were like, but then they were like, we got you in on the first week of recording because you're also the navigator, so we need you to do like a lot of lines. And I was like, okay. And then, yeah, I'm one of those people I always like downplay in my brain. I'm like, oh, it's probably not a big deal. And then, and then Futaba happened. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. You all the way in the back with the half green hair, or turquoise.
Oh, that's Carolyn.
Oh.
Hi. I've seen Carolyn at like 3 cons.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What up, Carolyn?
And I accidentally called her Melissa today.
Nice.
It happens. We've cleared it up.
I wanted to ask Erica, what was it like recording for the Ace Attorney game?
Oh, yeah, I voiced Emma Skye in Ace Attorney. That was like the quickest session of my life. It was like 30 minutes long. I also voiced Bonnie DeFam. Like, it was really cool. I love Emma. It was very much myself. I didn't have to like put on any airs to be her. I love her. I think she's great. I hope I get to do some more with her in the future. But it was really cool. The team was great. Everyone was lovely. It it was really cool too because I didn't know the games at all, and then my friend was like, my friend Kira Buckland voiced Trucy, and she was like, it's such a huge deal, oh my god, and I was like, really? It was like a 30-minute session, and she was like, Emma Skye is people's waifu, Erica. People love her, people love Emma, and I was like, cool, okay. And yeah, it was great, I'm excited. I hope there's more in the future. I'd love to explore her character more. Haru.
I know you guys voice a lot of characters. Is there anything like you just kind of took away, like life-changing, like messages that the games lead you from your characters? Like just kind of life-changing ideas that were left with you?
For Persona 5 specifically, I realized that I needed to not underestimate myself, just like what I was able to do. And just, with Futaba, I just had to throw myself in head first or she wouldn't have worked as a character. And with Persona 5, I think you all can attest, if you don't buy into the characters, it's not a good game. Like, you have to do well with the casting, you have to get the right performers to do the work. And I think they really did that with this game, and that's why you guys love it so much. It's great. There's a light that's flickering like on and off, and it's just so bright.
It's a ghost.
It's a ghost light. We're haunted. It's a ghost light. For others, I'm just thinking of things that like destroyed me. I voiced Kaori Miyazono in Your Lie in April, and Anadu and Anohana. Those two messed me up real bad. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with those titles, but they're very sad. And I suggest, please check out the dubs. They are so good. The dubs are like, seriously, we worked so hard on them. We were given the correct amount of time to do them, and we had an amazing director, an amazing team, and the casting was also really great. But those were, I don't know, I think with Your Lie in April, it was like the fragility of life and living your life to the fullest. It was definitely what I took away from that. And then for Anohana, as I said, I voiced Anadu, and she's kind of the jilted lover in that one. She loves somebody who's not in love with her and all this stuff. And squaring with that, and squaring with kind of your own selfishness in certain situations, or the ugly parts of you that you don't want to admit, and that really was cathartic for me in that sense, that I really related to Anadu in a lot of ways. And it helped bring those qualities that maybe I don't like so much about myself to the forefront.
So Morgana taught me that like being like a cocky, annoying bastard is really annoying to people. So like maybe don't do that. And then I just worked on an anime called Violet Evergarden. You guys know that? All right, have you guys watched it? And some people. I know. So it's airing in the UK, the dub, but it's not airing here yet. But it will be on Netflix soon. Oh my gosh. So I'm in one episode. I play a little girl whose mother is dying. Literally, I've cried kind of in sessions before, bawling the whole time, and I'm like trying to pretend that I'm not. Because literally, like, oh my god, it just made me think about everything, like life, my relationship with my family, like if I ever had a kid, like I was like, oh my god, what is this doing to me right now? So yeah, Violet Evergarden, when the dub comes out here, it'll be on Netflix. I think it's either episode 5 or 10, I don't remember now. But yeah, you will like have a box of tissues next to you because my episode will make you bawl. Yeah, and literally that's like one of the only animes that has really like ripped me apart. Even like more than Sword Art Online, like, because as Leafa, Leafa had her heart broken, stomped on and everything, and that was an emotional session. But this session for Violet Evergarden like blew that away.
It's amazing. The characters, like I've done incidentals that have made me really emotional. Because the thing is, if you're a good actor and you're doing your job, you're making it real for yourself regardless of what level of character you are, whether you're a lead or whatever. Yeah. And I did forget something. I voiced Mordred, aka Saber of Red, in Fate Apocrypha recently. I think I forgot about it because it just came out. I'm a huge Fate fan, and I've never felt closer to a character emotionally than I do Mordred. And I was so invested in what happened with their, I don't know, do you guys know the Fate Apocrypha? Yeah. The dub's really good, I suggest you check it out. But I, like, as somebody who loves Fate, and I got the news that I was gonna get to play a Saber, and I was like, oh my god, like I got to do the like, are you my master thing, and I was just like, oh my god. And then I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but like it's the Grail War, you know, teams get eliminated, blah blah blah. I knew what happened before I went in, and
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I hate this. No, I can't.
Don't cry. Well, you can cry.
it's
We won't
fine.
judge.
But I knew what happened before I went in, and I held it together until the end. And we had to do these crazy screams at the end because I basically lost my voice, and that's when I lost it. It was like this screaming for these just guttural, hard, like gut-wrenching sobs are what really made me lose it. And also. Kyrie, my master, my character's master, Kyrie is played by Patrick Seitz, who's a really close friend of mine, and so like knowing what happened to him was just really gut-wrenching. Like, cause you know, you try to make it real for yourself, right? So as opposed to going, it's Kyrie, I'm like, oh no, that's Patrick. Because honestly, let's be real here, if Patrick Seitz and I entered the Grail Wars, we would just be Kyrie and Mordred. Like, nothing would change. But yeah, that was really, really tough. Because it felt like it was me. I know that sounds super weird.
No,
I
know.
like really.
Sometimes you just like really click with the characters.
Oh my gosh, she was nuts out, man. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that was 30 minutes of answering.
Yeah. You've had your hand up for a while. Yeah, you.
This is a question for Erica.
Yeah.
I want to know if you knew the ending of Your Line April before you get Power.
Yeah. Knew what happened?
Before you voiced it.
Of course, yes. I had.
So did you go in there like? Well, what kind of expectations were you having for the character?
I knew what happened. I needed to know because that's a secret that that you're lying, April. I didn't. She's a character that she's not playing her ending. You should never play your ending as like, you know what I mean? It's like play the question, don't play the answer. That's what you say in like acting classes and stuff. Because Cowdy is not. She's determined not to live her life like living in the horror that is her end, you know? So yeah, I had to know, and I think the fact that she's not playing her ending makes it so much more gut-wrenching when she does get into those situations, you know, when she does realize what's happening to her, she really does like sit alone and square with what's going on with her. So yes, I did know what happened. I had to. Yes. What is it like being a voice actor?
It's like a roller coaster, 24/7.
It's crazy.
No, it really is though. Yeah.
It's being an actor in general.
Yeah.
Is a roller coaster.
It is because you never really know like what your next job is. You're constantly auditioning, so you're constantly going on job interviews. You know, if you compare it to like a more traditional career. People like to say it's a lot of rejection, but I don't really look at it like that anymore. Like, no, you can't at all.
It's not a healthy way to look at it.
No, you just, you know, auditioning is part of your job.
Literally this morning, I got an email. I did an audition for a big video game, and I got an email, and they go, hey, they're looking at holding you for this time. 30 minutes later, oh, they decided to go in another direction.
Yeah, see, it's a roller coaster. Because your emotions are like, yes!
And then you're like, oh. And the thing is, this is when you've done it for a little while, I went, oh, I'm so happy they even heard me.
Yeah,
I'm glad they heard my audition, and I'm glad they clearly liked it.
And you're on their radar,
And I'm on their radar.
Yeah.
That's what you should be happy about. You should just be happy about doing good auditions.
Right. That's
And
what
knowing
you
got
have to
hurt.
be. Yeah. That's what you have to be okay
Getting
with.
the part is so subjective. Oh my
It really
God. It's
is,
like,
yeah.
Exactly. Because I'm sure you as well, we both just feel really lucky with the work that we've been able to get.
Yeah. And I mean, it's exciting. Like, every time you get a role, like, it never gets old. You're like, yes, I get to do this.
It's nuts, man. It's an awesome, it's a good career if you can deal with the
roller coaster life. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In a nutshell. Ooh, back there.
What's your favorite one you got to support
For Persona? Our favorite line for Persona? We answered this earlier.
I just did I'm trying to think of another one.
Looking cool, Joker.
Stupid Inari.
Good old instance.
They're all fun. Her nap lines are all so good. Bonafide. Like they're all amazing. They're all. Yes.
This is a question for Cassandra. What was it like working on the Bravely series?
The Bravely series? Oh my gosh, so much fun. You guys play Bravely Default or Second? Yeah, Adia's awesome. And her tagline, the murder.
Oh my god.
I love that we were able to keep the murder because there was a time like in the session where they weren't sure if they wanted to keep it because it's such a weird phrase. And like written out, when I first saw it, I didn't even know what they meant. I was like, who's Mr. Gerger? Is this a new character? They're like, no, it's a thing that she says. So then like figuring out how to say that was really fun. But yeah, I love being Adia. Oh, do you guys read the blog Kotaku? Kotaku at all? Yeah? Okay, cool. So when Bravely came out, they were like fanning out over the series and they were like writing all these articles about like, just like fun, like random articles. Like, here's all the, if the Bravely Default characters had theme songs, this is what it would be. And Adia's was like a 90s teen, like, rom-com or whatever. Like that's like what they called her theme song. And I was like, yes, that's totally me. Because I love 90s movies. So yeah, I don't know, just like recording was awesome and like the hype around it has been so fun. And I still love writing murder on people's things. Yeah, I mean, I hope Adia comes back in some form, some way. Yeah, we don't know. Like we said before, we're the last people to know.
Midnight, they kidnap us and just take us to a studio. We don't know until we get
You're
there.
doing Bravely 3!
Yeah. Yes, you there with the wrap. Oh, I thought your hand was wrapped up.
Oh, technically it's supposed to be.
Oh, cool.
You remember Xenoblade Chronicles X?
I do. How could I forget? That's another one where I spent like months and months and months.
Who was the better character, Lau or Yusuke?
Lau or Yusuke? I'm gonna go with Lau.
Oh. Because you just disappointed.
Disappointed! Sorry, not sorry. Hashtag murder.
No, you in the back.
Me?
You there, yeah. Then you.
You can be next.
Yeah.
So you both have played in respective Danganronpa games.
Oh yeah.
Did you have a lot of fun playing those voices, Asahina and Utsugi?
Yeah. She's crazy. Oh my gosh. There's a compilation of all my screaming scenes. The gentle, like, gentle, don't say gentle. There's a compilation, it has like 200,000 views on YouTube. It's like nutso. It's like, oh no, maybe it was close to like 500,000. It was something crazy. But it's just me screaming in the English dub of the game, like, gentle, blah, kill me instead. It was like one of the first video game roles I ever did. And it was dark. I mean, as you know, super, super dark. I love that role. I think she was great. She's not usually what I'm cast for, so I was really, really excited. I love Kotoko, or Kotoko, depending. Katinking the bovin and nana. That was it.
Yes. Asahina is cool. The thing with Danganronpa, it's so violent. Like for me personally, like I don't really jive with like the super, super violent games. And just the fact that like almost everybody dies, I'm like, oh. And then the anime is like even worse. They had me do like just a random like one-off character in the anime because they wanted to like bring in like the video game actors. And like doing this scene, I was almost like, I don't even want to do this anymore because they were just like shooting up a classroom and everyone was dying and they were like dragging it out. And I was like, I feel really uncomfortable screaming like this. Yeah. But Asahina's cool. I like when I see an Asahina cosplayer. She always has donuts.
You then, yes.
So, Erica, I've asked Patrick Sykes what it's like being the director in the booth, but for you, what's it like being on the other side, being the person recording the lines for him?
With Patrick?
Yeah.
Patrick is great. Patrick doesn't let me get away with anything.
Yeah.
He'll literally just be like, I don't believe you, do it again. Like, because that's the kind of relationship that we have though, and I really appreciate it, because I want to make it the best that I can. So he's a fantastic director. I can't say enough good things about him. Also guys, dream big. I used to go to conventions in like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. But like, Hellsing is my favorite anime and has a fantastic dub. So I only ever really watched the dub, and he was Luke Valentine in Hellsing. And that was actually how I kind of got into like voice. Like I was like, oh, who are these people? Because I was always in the theater and I majored in theater in college. So I was like, who are these people that are doing these voices? And I was like, oh, Luke Valentine, you know, whatever. And then I met him a few times, and then I've worked with him like so many times on so many projects.
Oh, that's cool.
And now we're like friends. It's so weird. Patrick's awesome. He's amazing. He's a fantastic actor and a fantastic director. I love him.
And a cool dude.
And just a cool dude.
Yeah.
Exactly. How about you back there? You and then you. Yeah.
This goes to Cassandra. Who is your favorite Ryuji? Ryuji Sakamoto from Persona 5 or Ryuji Tatsu from Toradora?
Toradora. Sorry guys, I know this is a Persona panel, but yes. Oh, come on! Have you guys seen Toradora? Yes. I feel like Ryuji he basically like kind of saves Taiga's life in a way. You know, like just like the way they get together. It's like she's all tsundere in the beginning, and then he like cracks her shell, puts up with her shit. Makes her food all the time. Aww. I love that Ryuji.
You need to go watch Toradora.
It is so cute.
Family.
What?
I just love that she just gets a happy family at one place she wasn't expecting to get it.
I know. Yeah, you gotta love that Ryuji.
Yeah.
Are you asking? Or someone?
Huh?
And then you. Yes.
Cassandra.
Yes.
So, I'm all the way into Okumura Foods role sections with Persona, and sometimes I'm still confused about the gender of your character.
Okay.
Is that hard to do? Like, was that hard to try and do that?
Like the voice, or like as the character, like play like kind of a character that you don't know who they are.
Yeah. Was it hard to do that? Like just tapping into that, I guess.
Well, I chose a gender for Morgana at the beginning, just so like I would know who I was playing like, as an actor, because I feel like if I didn't know, it would get kind of confusing. So I chose in the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna make Morgana a guy, just because like in my gut, like that's what I feel like what he is. So yeah, as an actor, I just kind of like make a choice and go with it, because acting's all about choices.
Yeah.
So
Specificity.
yeah, being specific. So, and then
that, but it was still like, it's like, I'll hear him talking, I'll be like, she, he, oh.
Yeah, well that's part of it.
Also though, vocally, I feel like you have such a great voice for that kind of stuff. Like you just have such a nice, neutral.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Gender neutral voice.
It's very impressive.
Well, the thing is too, that's just her way of making some justifications into herself to perform the character.
Yeah.
You guys decide whatever.
I still
you
thought
want.
that it was Taiga as Cat.
You think Morgana sounds like Taiga? Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
funny.
I noticed
gender
that
is
when
a
I
bus.
first put it, I'm like,
Yeah,
she's Taiga or, you know. I sort of heard a little
Someone
bit
said
of
Morgana is a bus, and that's
Yeah,
her gender. That's
Morgana
their gender.
identifies as a bus. Hey, it's 2018. When I identify as a bus, I'm not gonna stop you.
I just saw a really good fursuit walk by. I'm gonna go get it. You all the way in the back. With the eye patch.
So, you're mentioning the Harley Quinn impersonation.
Yeah.
Want to do that?
Oh, Mr. J! Wanna rev up your Harley?
Wow, you're really boring, aren't you? Like, that's my Maggie voice. But yeah, my Harley. Every girl can do a Harley. Every girl's got a Harley, every boy's got a Joker. It's not,
Yeah.
you know.
It's more about the acting than like the voice.
110.
Yeah. Nuggy Kazam!
Actually, you know what's funny? We recorded Magic Kazam and Muggy Kazam. For every single one of those lines.
Wow.
Did they end up going with Magic Kazam? Magic Kazam?
Magic Kazam! Welcome to Maggie Loves Menagerie.
Wow. This girl, oh my gosh, you guys. A Magilou cosplayer once freaking came into my line, put down a boombox, started playing Magilou's theme song, like flounced up to me and had a straight up like Magilou fight with me. It was nuts.
Was she like dance battling you?
No, she was just like saying really mean stuff to me, and I was saying really mean stuff back. Wow, it was great. And I was like, she kept it going for a really long time. And I was like, okay, do you want to take a picture? And she's like, no, like blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, It was great. She was freaking fantastic. She had some cojones to freaking put her boombox down.
You know she planned that out for like weeks.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna let her do it. I wasn't gonna stop her.
No, that's cool.
No.
Now somebody's gonna do that too tomorrow.
Morgan is a very intense, aggressive character, so it was like scaring me a little, you know?
Do you guys keep up with the Persona 5 memes at all? And if you do, which one's your favorite?
Oh, somebody made go the fuck to sleep with Morgana heads. I love that!
There's so many. There's this artist named, is it Arctunes? Arkiel, and he draws me as Futaba.
Whoa!
He drew me, okay, I post, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys, this is nuts. He'll take pictures of me and draw me as Futaba doing the thing I was doing in the picture. So for example, today, I cosplayed my Valentine from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh! fan. He drew Futaba cosplaying my Valentine. It's nuts. It is, you guys, I follow him on Twitter, and he's just like, here it is, here's the new thing, blah, blah, blah. And wait, I'm gonna see if I can find any more, because they're nuts. Like, oh no. Wait.
What's your favorite Persona meme?
There's a lot of them. I've made one where Haru raps.
Nice.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't. Will you tweet it to us?
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay, cool.
I found one more. He literally messages me on Twitter. He goes, if Futaba and Protagonist got married, do you think they'd dab at their wedding? And I said, yeah. Literally drew it like an hour later. Oh, he's also drawn Futaba as Mordred, and drawn Mordred as Futaba. It's nuts. It's nuts.
That's really cool.
How much?
And people. The other really good one is I Voice Maynard in Street Fighter V, and Aoi-Yuki, who is the seiyuu of Futaba, also voices Maynard, and people were drawing like crossovers because also Maynard has an Egyptian theme, and Futaba does too. That was crazy. It was really cool. It was really nice to see them acknowledge me as well as the Japanese seiyuu, because I feel like a lot of times, well, I think Persona is different, but with some games, it's really nice because it seems like the fandom is still really intense for the English voices as well as the Japanese, which is nice because they worked so hard on it to make it good. So yeah, it was just really nice for them. The English and the Japanese voices. I was like, oh, thanks.
There's going back to Bravely Default, there's like a YouTube video where it compares the Japanese Murgurger and my Murgurger. And I like to read the comments because it says that they like mine better.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be competitive or whatever.
We have like 6 minutes.
Oh, we do? Okay,
Yeah.
so should we do some like...
So wait, raise your hand if you have a question. If you have a question for this time.
Maybe we should have them stand up.
Yeah, stand up if you have a question.
Yeah.
And those are going to be the people whose questions we answer.
Yeah, we're going to do lightning
We're
rounds.
four.
No, you kind of want to get up.
Okay,
You want to get up?
It's a dumb question.
Seriously.
No, there's no dumb question.
I like your near shirt.
Okay. Oh, near.
We were both in that too.
Okay, cool. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really quick. Go.
Dumb question. Who did you mean in Overwatch?
Junkrat. Oh, do you want to hear my Overwatch impressions? I can do them real fast. The world could use more heroes. That's my Tracer. Heroes never die. That's my Mercy. I am the strongest woman in the world. That's my Zarya. My Junkrat, who's my main. I need healing. I need healing. I need healing. I need healing. And then my oh god, Reaper. Reaper here.
You're up.
Can you tell us about your least favorite roles that you guys had?
We're not.
Least favorite role? I love every role.
I love every role I've done.
Yeah. As an actor, you have to like your character.
You have to.
Otherwise, like, you won't give a
Even if they're
good
terrible.
performance. Yeah. You have to find something that
You gotta find a motivation for them, yeah.
What about
Also,
your
as we
favorite?
mentioned, what?
What about your favorite one?
Favorite? It changes all the time.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'd say right now it's probably, I love Mordred. Mordred, like, really, dude, we did a live stream, we did a live tweet and watched the last, like, 5 episodes of Fate Apocrypha, and I started bawling on the stream. Like, I could not. Erica Mendez was, like, holding my face. She was like, okay, it just shows you care. And I was like, I sound crazy. It was so bad. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Favorites? Top 3.
Top 12.
Top 12. I really actually, because we've been talking about Nier so much, I love Operator 6.0. I love the scene where she gets her heart broken. Because it's funny. It's not like Leafa getting her heart broken. I love Morgana. I love the people who love Morgana. I love talking about Morgana. I love telling people to go to sleep. And I love Taiga. I just love Taiga. I feel like I relate to her in so many weird ways. Okay, 3 minutes. We got it. You snuck in there. Go for it.
You snuck in there, Chie. How
I
dare?
get a shout out from my Facebook group that got Persona Hell.
Persona Hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. How about we'll just wave? Hi!
Sweet. Appreciate that.
Yay! Here come the buffs!
Thank you.
Alright, next question.
Have you played Persona 4, and if you have, who's your favorite character?
No.
No, but I was in Persona 4 the animation as I get the delivery girl.
Nice. I think Rise is super hot, so cool. Yeah.
Next.
Do that.
How do you feel about people sort of making dreamcasts for dubs of things, like say, put you in a, like say, they want you to voice this character that's never been dubbed before?
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
It's so
yeah.
flattering.
Incredibly flattering.
Yeah.
That people want to hear my terrible voice and things. It's great.
I feel like it's like a voice actor fantasy football.
Yeah.
Or like fantasy baseball. It's cool. Yeah.
Totally. Last
question of the entire panel. No pressure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything that like you dreamed of doing but missed out on, or you're looking forward to right now?
Wait, what was the last part?
Or you're looking forward to?
Oh, like voice actor wise, or just like life in general?
Like anime or whatever.
Cassandra and I have a dream about buying a barn.
Oh yes.
We horseback ride.
We yes, in our real lives.
Yes.
We ride horses together.
Am I allowed to tell them about your horse?
Yeah, sure.
Her horse's name is JoJo, and his show name is Looking Cool, Joker.
I named him that.
The best thing ever.
Yeah. So
I literally heard, when you laughed, I heard,
yeah, that's our dream life.
I just want to like get old and buy a barn and like ride horses.
And have all the horses named after Persona 5 characters.
I always wanted to act. I mean, that's what I've always been a performer, you know, whether it's theater or film or whatever, like forever. And I just feel really lucky that I get to play such awesome characters and come meet like people like you guys. I feel like my dream has definitely come true. I think all actors are never satisfied. Like there's a part of us that are never satisfied, but if I really sit back and think about it, I'm like, oh, I have such a great life.
We've done some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember when I found out like what a convention was, like I didn't grow up going to conventions or anything, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be invited to a convention one day. Because I thought it was so cool. So now I get to do it with you guys.
It's super fun.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for coming. We have the Persona 5 signing tomorrow at 12:15.
Yes.
Yeah, so come see us.
Yes, and we have 25
Yeah, we have
prints.
25 Futaba Morgana prints
They're
left from
collab
our
prints.
print collab.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we also have individual prints too.
Yes.
We want those, or we will sign your game.
We'll sign your game, yeah.
Or whatever.
We got gold Sharpies. I already know what works on those metal covers.
Yeah, we will sign your metal case.
Totally.
Okay, bye.